Hey, what is up, everybody? So we're back in Far Cry 5 to check out the new SMG which was added in this week's live event, the MP34. How do you get this gun, you ask? Well, like I said, it's this week's live event reward. What do I need to do to complete this live event? This week's live event is friendly fire, and what you need to do is get your guns for hire back to work. Not your specialists, not people like Nick Rye or Boomer, but your guns for hire, the people you meet around Hope County and can hire. You need to hire them, take them out, go find some cultists, and they need to get 10 kills. They need to do it, not you. Once your guns for hire have gotten 10 kills, you can come back here and take your reward, which is the new MP34, which is a really cool gun added to this game. A little bit of history on it here. It's a German gun that was created in between World War I and World War II, when the Germans weren't supposed to be producing weapons, and they kind of hid it from the rest of the world that they were making this gun. It was used in early World War II, but quickly replaced by the MP40, which you will know we also have in this game. Now, a quick little tidbit here. This is now the 5th German SMG in the game. There are only 6 SMGs in the game, and only one of them is not German-made, which is the Vector, which is USA-made. So, cool little thing there. I guess the Far Cry 5 developers like German SMGs. I don't know. Or it could just have to do with the fact that the Germans do make a lot of SMGs and it is their preferred weapon of choice. So about this gun a little bit. First things first, we just got to look at stats here in the store. And like we saw with the M9 and the P226, the MP34 is a carbon copy stats-wise of the MP40. Kind of expected it. Here it is, proof in the pudding. So it has a slower rate of fire than the other SMGs, but otherwise pretty similar. A little less handling, but it really, in truth, and I'll show you why here in a few minutes, it actually handles a little bit better than the other guns. So pretty much what we've come to expect for the SMG class. Nothing special, nothing fancy. Of course, the one you can get for this week's live event is the Ryan Sons edition. And I do expect here next week or the week after that we will receive a plain version of this gun like we just did with the M9, going from the live event version to the standard version. So I think we will see a plain version. So if you don't like this gun, don't play the live event, and you can wait and you can get it in the plain version, which you might like better. So as far as attachments go, standard attachments again, red dot through ACOG, both suppressors, and an extended mag. And this gun holds 40 rounds in an extended mag, just like the MP40. So now in practical use, for the practical test here, I'm going to be comparing the standard MP5, the MP34, and the MP40. Practical use, honestly, these two guns are locked full auto. So that does mean I am going to be using the MP5 in full auto only. Practical use, recoil-wise, honestly, these guns have the other SMGs in the game beat, and that's because of their relatively lower rate of fire, which is still not a bad rate of fire. They don't shoot slow. It's nothing you really notice in your gameplay. But if we do a little recoil test here, we see that the MP5 pulls high and usually pulls to the right a little bit like that. But if we pull out the MP40, scoot over here, get a clean spot, and we shoot it, it doesn't pull near as high and stays a lot closer to the original shot, and after a few shots holds out in one area. And the MP34 does tend to seem to copy that, considering it has the same exact stats as the MP40, except just pulling sometimes a different direction, and it is a little bit wider sometimes, but very comparable to what the MP40 can usually put down. The MP40 maybe sometimes puts a little tighter groups down than the MP34, but in gameplay it's something you probably won't notice. Really, this gun I think is a really cool addition to the game. The fact that the Far Cry 5 developers are fans of older firearms, World War II and past, is cool to me, someone like me, because I do enjoy playing with older firearms, sometimes the futuristic or even just the modern, constantly using M4s, AR-15s, things like that. Kind of gets worn out. It's in every game. So seeing some off-the-wall guns like the MP34, something that people don't usually think about, it's kind of cool to me that the Far Cry 5 developers think of this stuff. So I'm glad to see older guns like this come into the game. As far as in gameplay, it's a decent gun. It, at distance, it is an SMG. It's going to pull at distance. I honestly don't ever really suggest just holding the trigger down and spraying unless you're just in a situation where you're close quarters with 4 or 5 enemies. It's not that good for that. This gun shoots best in 4 to 5 round bursts. And it'll do most close range damage you need rather efficiently. So, if you're somebody who's not a fan of shotguns because of their slower rate of fire and maybe you have a little bit of trouble with lack of aim, this might be a good choice for you. And if you're someone who likes the MP40, there's definitely something to check out. Like I said, they're really close relatives, both in reality, being that they're both derivatives of a wartime Germany and the guns they were producing to go to war, and the fact that their stats in the game are extremely close. Now, another thing I think is cool is to see a side-mounted magazine SMG come to the game, because these were really popular. Everybody was making them. France, Britain with the Sten gun. Everybody was making the side-mounted magazine guns in the 1930s to early 1940s. So, really cool gun. A lot of historical value. I think is really cool to see this come into the game with all this historical value. And I think it's something really new and interesting to the game. I know I've said that a lot, but I'm really excited about this gun. Really excited to see what we might get when the plain version comes and what we can put on it and make it look like. I am not the biggest fan of the Ryan Sons motif here. The yellow, not really my thing, but the gun itself I really like, so I think I'll continue to use it in my gameplay until I come across the plain version, which I might switch to depending on what it looks like. So that's my review of the MP34 in Far Cry 5. I think it's a good gun. You should run out, grab it if you can, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you found this video useful or liked it, Bill, can you leave me a like? That'd be really appreciated. And if you want to keep up to date on what's coming out with the live events and new updates in Far Cry 5, stick with my channel here. I'm trying to keep new information coming out is once a week or so, mainly when the live events come out and what's coming out with them. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys could like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.